How's it going out there in the interwebs world? I've gonna start off by putting the knob into the lid. Yeah, and then um, it does hold. It holds stuff. Oh, got bickies in there. All right, so
I find it really interesting in that the fact that the lid has a different color scheme,
yeah,
and you haven't done anything different in finishing between the two.
not to make that darkness to it. No. Well, the only difference is that the base had Yorkshire Grit, and this one had the lid had beeswax that I was using yesterday. That's the only difference, and I can't see. I think it's just maybe a little bit of moisture that was left in the end of the wood. Maybe that's about all I can say. Well, that flows out a lot easier than the Gorilla stuff. That's for sure. I was expecting to have a bit of force and effort to use to press him down on it, but no. So I just put it on my bandsaw table. It's about the levelest thing I can think to put it on that doesn't get knocked.
So, what were you up today there?
Who, me?
Well, Jay first.
I know at the moment.
Uh-oh, you don't remember?
No, I don't know. I didn't think that far ahead, to be honest.
We're talking about in the past.
No, your past is our present, you see.
Well, it hasn't happened yet, you mean?
That's right.
The other way around.
Maybe that's why he can't remember it.
You might be right there, Dr. Bob.
Well, if it hasn't happened yet, you can't remember it.
You never know.
Today with the AWDG meeting, it was fun. As usual, the Friday ones. And it was brought up by the host, the meeting that he was in last night with you guys and all of us. He thinks it's a great format.
Sorry,
Well, there you go.
I'm listening, but I'm trying to find a piece of wood to turn.
Well, there you go, Joe. You're a trendsetter.
I better stop it.
You've become an influencer.
Hang on a minute, I'll just look in the bank. No, I'm not.
All these new words that have been spawned.
Yes. But look at all the new words that happened after World War II.
Oh, that's true.
And during and after, particularly after the Nam conflict with us that were there. When we get home, words and phrases of which between each other we know the meanings, but it's one of those things that just like when my old man came home from World War II, him and his brothers and others that served with him, they could talk in a foreign language just like we used to. Foreign in the sense that they used a lot of phrases and slang that we just weren't used to. And then within our skill and craft, we have slang, but we also have it based on where we've been in the world and what's had an impression on us. It's like a lot of the slang that you guys have from down under. I have no idea what it is. I try to put stuff together even when I was there. But it's like you have to live there to understand it because it's part of the culture. But with the internet today, it seems that it's getting out there more. We become a smaller world.
Certainly is.
So
What's
what were
wrong?
you up to today? Robo?
Sorry,
What were you up to?
stuffing up bloody bases. That's what I was doing. I'm just trying to connect my phone to Bluetooth on the thing. That's which is proving interesting.
Why? What can't you do?
Well,
You mean your headset to the phone?
no. Trying to our useless government changed how we get onto government services, and you've got to have an Android or a other sort of phone to get into the system now, because they want fingerprint bloody identification and all that sort of crap. And I originally had it set up, but well, a few other things have happened, so I've got to redo the whole thing. So anyhow, I will play with that later on when I'm.
That's really needed because there's too many people hacking and getting people's identities. I've had that happen to me 4 times in the past 10 years. And it cost me my credit score, even though we proved in court that the actions weren't mine.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to worry the credit suppliers.
Nope.
I had the same thing 50 years ago. There was another bloke with my name, and it was g'day Crazy Shepherd and Chris. Chris is in, but he no volume, and the friends play at house playing cards. So, and Crazy Shepherd, he's a new one.
How you going, Chris? How you going, Crazy Shepherd?
Inadvertently, a couple of people had written invoices out to him, and they got sent to him. Of course, he didn't pay. So the next person they picked on was me. Took me about 5 years to get my credit rating back again.
Well, it took me a year in and out of court. Unfortunately, the account was sold after I won to another agency. And this one, the agency was in Southern California. And that didn't help any because I even proved to them, I sent all the court records and the police records saying that it wasn't me. Even photographs that were taken by the people, by the merchants. Affidavits from the store managers that the pictures were real because their security cameras took them.
Yeah.
And what tops it off, it was a non-white person.
You dyed your skin.
Yeah. And with it in California, that bought cruise tickets to go to Thailand.
Did you enjoy
With myself and my wife and 2 kids.
Oh, I see.
And they had pictures of them. And they commented that they had made arrangements for someone that spoke fluent Honduran because I was from Honduras. But less than 9 minutes after the tickets were bought, and we know the timing from the movie, the video that they took when they bought the tickets for the cruise line, and it was like they had their bags ready. So they just went and they picked them up.
Oh, well, planning is
9
everything.
minutes.
Yeah,
I went from San Francisco to from San Francisco to Berkeley, California to buy 3 iPhones for myself, my wife, and my 18-year-old. And all of a sudden, I went from being Hispanic to black in 9 minutes, and on video yet. So the courts here threw it out in Michigan because all that evidence, they said, of course, these affidavits and all, we know that. So they got stuck with, writing it off. 3 months later, I was being sued again for the same crimes, but through another state.
Good day, Blair.
Howdy, Blair. We should say Blair's glove, his shooting glove. But that really bugged me. It's still sitting on a credit record. It popped up about 4 months ago again.
Yeah.
This one from the credit bureau that had sold it to somebody in Albuquerque, New Mexico. But they didn't tell them it was part of a big pile. So they offered me to pay only a third of what was owed. So I sent them a copy of the file, and they said, no, they can't take it. I have to go and have certified copies made and send them registered mail. The only way they'll take them. Yeah. And I got to pay for them. The way it's calling, they sell debt.
That's it.
They sell debt to other debt collectors to try to collect it, even though they've lost in court. And I think it's revenge because they had to pay the court fees, and it wasn't cheap. They got stuck with something like $6,000 court fees. But since I have all the records, I can't charge to get them again. I can charge to get them recertified, but that's all I can charge. And I have to go to court in New Mexico. So they offered me to pay it off for 10%. And not have to go through it.
What are you making, Blair?
Looks like a bowl of some type.
Yeah.
I don't know what this wood is, but it isn't soft.
I've heard you say that before. So you need to drill a pilot hole for your spur drive?
No, I'm going to give it a go like this for now. It's nowhere near as violent, going to be as violent as the last piece I had on there. So.
It's not going to walk across the room?
No.
I have not seen a lathe walk and vibrate like that especially when you put the camera at the headstock. That was quite a view. You could see it swing and sway.
That's got a big split there,
Yeah.
but I've got good glue, so I'm pretty happy it'll be all right. I don't think it'll part ways too much. How you going, Sid?
G'day, Sid. Oh, Sid's out in the shed.
Yeah.
Sid's in the shed tonight.
Gonna make you two jealous with 3 people working. No?
I put my winter clothes on and go out, but unfortunately, my torpedo heater, even though it's very efficient, it's noisy.
Yeah, like mine.
Noise cancellation on sound StreamYard works pretty good though.
Yeah, it does, but it upsets all the other sounds too. Tighten your tailstock, Blair. That's why you don't use cone centers for that sort of work, really.
This piece of wood's been outside in the rain, so the bark's wet, but it's just the bark. The rest of it's rather dry. So.
Its bark's worse than its bite, eh?
Yeah.
So how's that lovely wife of yours and her pyography? Haven't seen any pyography in a week or so.
It's too windy at the moment, Dr. Bob. She's been doing other stuff. We got some paint. Oh, sorry, Sid's done a private message and said that he's fiddling with settings. So,
Oh yeah.
He hasn't answered. Yeah, we got 3D paint. She's been messing around with that on some old black plates that we don't use anymore, like dinner plates.
Yeah.
Putting flowers on them and different stuff. It actually looks really nice. So, no, she is doing other stuff.
I wouldn't worry about putting any glue into them until you got it down the round. You're only wasting glue, Joe.
Yeah, I just wanted to see if I could sink it right down low, right deep down. This stuff's pretty thick. I don't know if it's because it's cold here at the moment, but
Cold. We're 6.
yeah. We are. All right. I'll take that back. It's not that cold. It's 21.
No, it's a lot warmer than we are.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least we're on the right side of the scale.
Look at that. Perfect position. Right in the way.
Yeah. Yeah, you're good at doing that.
Yeah, I've got to be good at something, don't I? Did you get the fur ball?
Yeah.
There's Alf after he's eaten the cat. That's a bit better picture than the last shot. All right.
Somebody's knocking.
They keep on knocking. Come in. I don't know what comes flicking out of that, but I stood to the side because it's got water.
Good day, Shay. How are you? She says, hi, all I'm listening but scrolling.
How you going, Shay? What are you making today?
Oh, well, got no sympathy for you, Shay. Serves yourself right for becoming so popular.
I hear an army coming. I better shut them up.
I gotta go help him with that. Oh no. He's still in the car.
The teens have arrived for a weekend of gaming.
Good day, Marley.
How you going, Marlon?
You know.
Oh, I'm fighting fit, Marley. I assume that everybody else is pretty much the same. We're all above ground, so that's what counts these days.
It's in the fridge.
What are you making, Marley?
A better question for Marley is, why is he out of bed at this time of the night?
I'm going all right, thank you, Marley. I've
Well, how old is Marley?
I'm not sure, but I think he's a teenager.
Teenagers sleep? That's when their whole clock gets turned upside down. I know, I got two here.
I'm remaking. Do you have any soda you wish to have?
It's not a rude question, Marley. How old are you? "12. Not even a teenager yet." Just as well your Uncle Mark's not on, he'd be yelling at you probably.
So the question is, Marley, what's your hobby then in woodworking or?
Eva's in as well.
how you going, Eva?
You're going to join us, Eva, to see what you're making tonight?
Yes, just think of all the... Oh, good day, Steve. I haven't seen you for a while. Steve Combs is in. You want to see me when I'm really upset, Eva?
How you going, Steve?
Well, I'll tell you, Jay's lathe is hypnotizing right now.
Sorry, what was that, Dr. Bob?
The pattern on the wood that you're turning along with the frame rate of the camera, is very hypnotizing.
Cool.
You know, the next thing I'll hear from you is look into the wood. What is your bank account number? The pin on your card. Slow down. You're all talking at once.
Give me your Wi-Fi password.
Well, that sure wouldn't help in Australia, would it, for my Wi-Fi?
I don't know, but at least I could talk to Alexa.
You've already got her perked up. I just saw the ring go on.
Hello, Alexa.
And Eva just said she's just here to say hi on my way to bed. How's the tooth going, Eva? Or the toothache? All gone, I hope. G'day, Cade.
How you going,
Hi,
Cade?
Kate.
Hey, Robo. Hey, Dr. Bob. Hey, Jay.
So what's the weather like
Hey,
up
Blair.
there a bit from me?
Not too bad. We had a bit of snow yesterday, and like just a little bit of not much, just like fluff floating through the air today. But they're calling for a lot of snow. We just haven't got it yet. So sometimes it goes right around us, follows the lakes, and misses us.
Oh, I know that well as a kid.
So it's nice.
We'd follow
Usually
the
get
winds
best
of
weather
weather.
of Canada.
Eva says she's got snow and ice now, and she's feeling much better, but feels sick from the antibiotics. So,
Oh, yeah, it's like minus 20 something out there today. It was nice during the day, but now the sun's down, so it's like freezing.
Well, that was fun.
Yeah.
Wow.
He had an explosion.
Yeah.
Oh, well, what happened there?
Exploded.
You got a
Had
boom
a-
boom.
Had a small crack in it, but the crack was bigger than. Yeah.
Bigger than you thought.
Oh well.
That was a major fault.
It happens.
What
I
was
was
it?
just screwing around anyway, so no big deal.
Chucky!
Yeah. You saw nothing.
Oh, yeah. Jackie.
Alrighty then.
Yeah. Hmm.
And Eva wants to know whether you're bleeding or not.
Ooh.
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Oh, that a little, but no, I didn't hit.
I
me.
know. That happened yesterday. That's an old injury. You don't worry about that one.
Nah,
No.
If it's not infected, you're all right.
that's right.
Yeah.
Filled it with super glue, and I'm good.
And Marley reckons his ears are bleeding, probably from me yelling.
Hmm.
Well, when I was his age, I was doing scroll saw stuff. And some turning, but only with my grandfather standing right there over me. But that was a totally different time in history. Because it was a line shaft shop that he had out in his big old barn. So if you wanted to stop the lathe, you had this wooden handle from above. You'd have to shift to the left, and that would shift the belt off.
Yep, slip it
And I
into
wasn't
neutral.
tall enough to reach it, so he had to be there.
Eva said that she used to go to clay groups when she was, well, I think she said when you was young, but I think we were kids by then, or probably nearly working. Then pottery, you might call it even. I didn't do sports besides horses, but I like pottery. I would have put the tenon on the other end, I reckon, Jay, because you're not going to get much out of that.
Did you figure you'd tell me that after I put the tenon on the other end? Or?
Well, I was too busy reading out the chat and couldn't see you. That's the story of my life. I'm either too early or too late for everything. What are you going to make out? What are you going to make out of it, Jay? You got me intrigued.
I don't think it's going to make a very good tenon. I have to take it right down to here.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to make anything good, actually.
I'm going back to having the tenon on the other side. Bugger it.
Yeah. And
That's
Eva wants to know what Cade's doing, and she suggested it's probably something tiny that you're going to be doing. You're on the big screen, Cade, so watch out.
Oh, I'm just sanding and buffing and putting a couple coats of finish on a bunch of stuff on my finishing table. So right now I'm just sanding and buffing a whole bunch of box lids. And then I'll do
That
the bodies
backlight
after.
is, your backlight is tending to bleed out you.
Oh,
Overhead
it's
one.
my halo. I'm holy.
Ah,
Oh, well, you
I know.
better leave. You can't stay in here. You'll burn up.
I know.
And
you
Marley
said to us.
and Marley is asking to be banned off the channel. It would be a good pen, Jay.
That's a big pen.
The toothpick.
Pen holder.
It's a pen holder. Sounds like he's got the sense of humor from his uncle.
Sounds like it. Eva said she'll be right back.
How's the weather out there today? Hot?
No, actually, it's very mild at the moment. We were just discussing that before. We had massive rain last night. Absolutely came down. I couldn't even see the back of the house, and I'm only 100 feet away, or 50 or 60 feet from it. So, yeah, and Jay had the same thing. So, it's a little cooler today. It's in the very low 20s, but very overcast and probably get rain.
Oh,
And
that's
Marley said he got the sarcasm from his uncle. I can believe that too, Marley.
yeah.
Can't use it.
Well, Marley, good question for you. What talents do you admire that your uncle has passed on to you?
Besides the sarcasm, what do you mean?
Yes.
Didn't you sleep much, Robbo?
No, actually, I had a pretty lousy night.
I'm generally not that boring, so I had to ask because you were yawning.
You weren't supposed to see that.
You're on full screen, sorry.
Yeah.
That was me the other day. I was tired.
Well, mute, Jay.
Oh no, he's making noises again.
Yeah, I know, you miserable little bugger. How dare the host do that?
Right. So when's the next DAW meeting? Next week, right? Or
Yeah.
not? Yeah? Oh, okay. 'Cause I still got to fill out that form.
You gonna join?
Yeah. I might as well.
Well, they let me in, Cade, so I dare say they'll let you in.
Yeah. That's good. Yeah, I'll join.
Because as a member, you'll get the notifications for our workshops too.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that'd be good.
And that'll be next weekend.
Okay.
That way it gives a couple of weeks to make your version of whatever it is was done at the workshop for competition.
Cool.
Gee, sounds like you got a gaggle of geese in the background there, Bob.
Teenagers.
Oh, no. Eva says her cat's happy. She just opened a new food bag.
There's my furnace. Turn my mic off for a second.
I got my girlfriend now.
You put headphones on, maybe that'll cut down. This maybe will cut down on all the background noise.
Depends how sensitive the mic is on the headphones. Doesn't seem to work on mine. Here we go, Eva.
Well, I just got a note from the blue light turner. He can't join us tonight because he's working. I sent him an invitation because that's something that there was some interest shown, so I dropped him one. Hopefully he'll be able to be free this weekend.
No, he's just started back at work again.
What's he do?
He's a paramedic.
Okay, now that's right. I remember who it is.
He works on the
It's
night shift.
Hard for me to keep the name and the faces and the nicknames tied together, especially since I can't see that a lot of them because I don't have a big screen. I only have a 10-inch tablet.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Kate, do you use StreamYard for your work, or are you a Zoom person?
Who are you talking to, Dr. Bob? Sorry, I didn't
Oh,
hear.
I was asking Cade something, but he's preoccupied.
Sorry, I didn't hear you. My furnace is going in the background there. What were you saying?
Oh, I was just wondering what you're up to over the weekend.
Not much really. I had to take my van in for oil change, and then found out it needed a couple extra things. So I don't have a vehicle, but we'll be sharing a vehicle for the weekend. But not much really. Just relaxing. We got to get the spare bedroom ready for sort of a nursery, so we're starting to organize that, move stuff. And then Sunday, just relax. Probably have a couple meetings. Oh, Sunday we're going for a walk. A walk. There is a huge path, like a waterfront path that goes all along the lakefront. So we'll go for a nice walk in the minus 20 winter wonderland weather.
Yeah. Well, why not?
Crazy, crazy, crazy.
You're jealous, Jay.
Not one
Right.
little bit. Hey, to be
You
honest,
just
not
want to
one little.
see what snow is like.
Hell no. I'll pass. Thank you.
I'll give you a snow job.
Jesus.
Never experienced one of those.
We have politicians that do that every day.
Not much. Just go with the flow. No really solid plans. We're still all locked down and on a stay at home order, so we're not supposed to be doing much, but we can go out to get groceries and stuff and exercise. So that'll be my weekly walk of exercise if I get stopped.
Yep. We have the same thing here when we're in basic lockdown.
and hopefully you come across some nice wood.
Sweet. Is it
Yeah,
Meet
I
the
found
Woodturner on Sunday?
What?
I think it might be that Meet the Woodturner on Sunday with Pat Carroll.
Oh yeah, it's Richard Raffin on this week.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be a good one. That's next weekend or this weekend?
This weekend.
Does
Oh,
somebody
oh.
want to put a link in my chat for that? Because I got no idea what you're talking about.
The 14th, I think it is. Wait on. Let me have a look at the calendar up there.
Oh, yeah, I think it's next weekend.
Next weekend it is, yeah.
I'll probably miss that.
Well, I don't have to go in there because I know Richard Raffin anyway.
Yeah. That's cool.
I love your box there, Jay. That's the type of wood that I really get off on using and being able to bring out the beauty of. The hand
type
of the
of wood's
maker,
that?
as one of my clients would say. But the other thing I find with wood like that, just staring at it and looking at it, and people keep coming up with, oh, just wax alone.
It's got an oil in there to keep the wax
The
from
wax
solidifying.
soft, yeah.
But other than that, yeah.
And even we're not ignoring you. It's okay.
No, they're just ignoring me instead.
No. Yeah, Scott is in Australia, they're called paramedics. They're first responders to a car accident and any injuries or anything at home.
I actually asked if someone could put the link into that show you were just talking about. And
Yeah, I'll see if I can find. It's on Facebook anyway, Joe.
Yeah,
Okay.
Pat Carroll.
Sure, I'll forget about that. But,
Pat Carroll does it.
Yeah, I don't think shoveling snow would be my favourite occupation either.
No, me neither.
Nah, I just find it's got to be done, so you do it.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, complaining doesn't make it easier. Actually, it makes the brain think it's worse, so you end up feeling worse.
We have to
Uh,
do it over here because if someone slips and falls on our property, on our walkway that we neglected to shovel, they can
Same
sue
here.
us. That's on our dime.
Yep, well, same thing here.
Me, I reckon I'd be having a bobcat in the garage and just drive that through and shovel it out of the way with that.
Oh yeah, if I had a huge driveway, I'd throw a snowplow on the front of my four-wheeler.
That'd be a huge driveway. A snowblower is all you need. But
Yeah, yeah.
I've got two teenagers here, and ask them to do something like that. It's like, you know, asking the Lord to make the sun shine just
That's
on
like
my
pulling teeth.
sidewalks.
Yeah.
I mean, all the faith in the world isn't going to get it done, so you go do it yourself. Because if someone slips and falls, and even though it was still snowing, the way our crazy law reads, I've made an attempt, and I haven't caught up with it, but I made an attempt. They can't sue me. But if it's neglect, they can sue.
Yeah. Here it's 24 hours. You have to have it plowed or snow plowed or shoveled within 24 hours of the snowfall. And if someone falls and slips and falls and you haven't shoveled it, the city can come and do it and they'll foot you the bill. But
For sidewalk, or do you have to clean part of the street too?
no, just the sidewalk. If it's your house is on the side where the public sidewalk is, you're on the hook to shovel that sidewalk within 24 hours.
Yeah, we're a little stricter than 24. It's supposed to be within, I think it's 12 or 14, but it's still some liability. What
Yeah.
we used to do, I live on a cul-de-sac, meaning it's a dead-end street with a little turnaround which with an island in the middle of it, which
Of course.
pre-COVID, we'd bring the barbecues and set up on it and the beer kegs, and we'd close the other end of the street off and put a bouncing thing for the kids.
Oh yeah.
Just as a, you know, neighborhood, local neighborhood, just.
All right, I'll be gone. I'll be gone for about 10 or 15 minutes.
And on
Yeah,
4th of
we used to
July, we
love
do the
those.
same thing with the fireworks for the neighborhood, for the kids.
We used to love that part of the neighborhood because the snowplow would plow all the snow on the island, and it would be like the best igloo type snow fort in on the block.
I went and got the website. Seems apparently no one knows how to do that in here, so I did that.
I'm just too busy buffing my wood right now, so. Otherwise, I would if my hands were free.
We got to be careful. Mini Maker's listening, and he might get a bad idea.
Can you hear me, guys?
Oh, yes.
What?
What?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Thanks, Kay.
Sid in the
Helpful,
chat.
man. What?
Robo
I'm
won't
having
be
all
back
sorts
for
of-
another 10 minutes.
He's there now. I can see him.
Boy, we've had a time warp. Our time for Robo being gone, that 10 minutes just went by so quick. Maybe it was you, Sid, tripped the time warp.
Yeah, he knew I was coming, so he rushed back just to turn the camera off. So I've struck a slight problem in my little shed. for whatever reason, I'm on the microphone on the computer because for whatever reason, if I turn the mic on my headset on, I can't hear anything. But if I turn the microphone on the computer on, I can hear everything fine through the headset.
Huh.
In Bluetooth?
Yeah, it's Bluetooth. But it could be the computer too. The computer's a bit of a dinosaur. Just an old laptop I had sitting around.
I wish I had that much.
I've got I've got 3 cameras, but I've got 1 USB port free.
Okay.
And I had to get a USB plug to hub to plug into one of those plugs just to open up avenues for all my cameras.
Yeah, you need it. Would you need a powered port?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I got
you
like
need
a separate powered USB hub, so it plugs in and it's powered by the wall, but then it plugs in and sends everything to your computer. I can show
I
you.
think if you don't get the external powered ones, I think they don't have enough capacity to drive everything through.
Yeah, you have to have the ones that have the external powers, not powered and plugged into the computer.
Yeah.
That's what I'm heard. That's what all the computer geniuses at the computer store told me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, I was looking at
set.
what some of the UK turners are using in the Stream Deck. Must be something similar, but it gives you more control.
Oh yeah.
Hey Blair,
Howdy.
hang on. If you wait a second, I'll wave.
Hang on, Blair.
I was getting upset, so I came upstairs.
I thought I'd just show a nice picture of my lathe.
A nice one-way? Yep.
It's a Havco, Hare and Forbes, that one.
Oh, the headstock made me think it was a one-way from this angle with the round top. Oh, that one. I thought it was another
No,
one.
this one's a Carbotech. So the Hare and Forbes is like a jet copy.
Okay. Well, the round headstock is a giveaway.
This one's
for
like
a
an
one-way.
Axminster. That's the Carbotech version of the one that Mark uses.
Yep, I've got one like that. Is that a Reeves drive?
Yeah.
Yep, I've got one of those, actually 2, and they're both out on loan right now because of COVID.
Yeah, well, I finished up buying the one that's in the centre of the picture there now, so I had something that was a bit easier to move around. So that's just a MIDI lathe, that one.
Yeah.
But no, it works quite well. Got my little chisel rack in there.
I've been lucky. I've had 4 lathes up until the good Lord surprised me with my Powermatic. I was teaching at a place called a tech shop, wood turning, well, other things, but the big thing that people wanted me is wood turning, and in the shop the wood shop had anything you could think of in it, except that their staff didn't know how to maintain most of the stuff. I did.
Peekaboo.
Yeah.
Hi. So that's the computer camera sitting underneath the shelf at the moment. So I'm high tech. I've got 2 cameras.
Well, when you were talking about having a splitter, you need the power splitter because what some people do, or some equipment suppliers, if it's a non-powered device, they use the power from that they can draw from the USB port. And a single port is, as rule of thumb, is designed to handle one hardwire splitter. A simple little chip somewhere in the splitter splits the signal, and it gets its power to do that from the computer. But if you go beyond that, there's not enough power to give you a good stable signal to go beyond that.
That's what I've heard.
So you've got to
See you
actually
later,
have
Steve.
a powered, and when they do that, you get a separate controller chip for each USB port. Now that's for USB 2. USB 3 is quite a bit different. That's a different animal. And that's the best. You get a hub for USB 3, and you're set up for it, and the proper device to plug in. You can plug, I mean, it talks to the bus of your computer directly. You can plug another 2 or 3 cameras in, memory, a hard drive, a MIDI interface. You can charge through it, so you can plug that into an external power supply and charge. You also have abilities of multiple hard drives. I mean, the C is the best out there right now as far as network, because you can do anything on it because it actually ties to the bus of the computer and talks to the motherboard as an extension of the motherboard.
Yeah, the USB 3 ports over here are blue and the 2s are white. I've got a blue tab in them if they're a USB 3. So this laptop's got 2 USB 2 and 1 USB 3 ports.
Well, it wouldn't. That wouldn't cover the video or any of that, but it should be able to with a USB-C adapter splitter. I don't know where mine is, because I plug it in often to my tablet. My tablet's smart enough to use it, because this is the typical splitters that people have today and they want to use.
Yep.
Now this is a C. Got to get used to this crazy camera. You can tell from the round connector at the end.
Yeah. Yeah, the USB-C, the new Samsung stuff's got a USB-C for a charging port.
And the trick is what they say. This is a 3 hub, meaning it has the electronics to totally support both of them as duplicate Cs. In this case, these aren't a C, but these are the USB 2, the high-speed 2s that are out there. And this is the electronics. And I was very impressed. I picked this up for about $5 online.
Yep.
It gives me 2 USB ports right out of my tablet, and I can charge with it if I want to. But
So can you input charge on one side and still be using it to take data out the other, Dr. Pop?
did we scare everybody away?
No, I'm putting super glue on my thumb, and I don't think you guys want to see this.
Oh, I thought maybe I was boring people, so they all.
Yeah, no, mine's glitching a bit at the moment. Turn the camera off and it won't let me turn it back on.
Well, I have someone who is. I should have it tomorrow. They're dropping it by. It's one of these little business computers with Windows 10 that actually screws on the back of a monitor. Uh,
So it's basically a hub.
no, it's a full computer with
Yeah,
Windows.
it's a full computer, but they call them a hub.
Okay.
They're just, everything is hardwired and all of that kind of stuff, and you've got a couple USB ports and what are they, the HDMI to
Yeah, there
a monitor
are three HDMIs on it, and three USB 3s, the Cs.
Yeah, they're pretty solid.
And he's upgraded the memory. It has a terabyte in it.
Nice.
So I'm just waiting to see what it's like. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to scramble to see if I got a monitor that'll run on it. Because I was thinking of using that out in the shop.
It shouldn't matter. I mean, so long as it takes the HDMI cable on the monitor, any monitor should work.
Yeah. And then the wireless keyboard.
So what are those solid state hubs going to be like in the shop with all the dust around? They're going to be better than the old boxes, or?
I don't know. It's going in a Ziploc baggie. I've learned that a long time ago with electronics and sawdust. When we were at the tech shop, I did all the IT work there.
I'd be careful, Bob. I think they do have a fan in them still.
I'll have to take a look at it. You can open this
They
one up inside.
They do generate a bit of heat. We've got at work, the desktop at work's one of those little hub. Well, the whole computer's about the size of an old VHS video case.
Yeah.
It's actually interesting. I've got a 10-inch Dell tablet, which is my work computer, and the office computer, which is the desktop. The actual computer is smaller than what my Dell tablet is.
Yeah. The thing is memory. When I think of the last one I built, I had that built it for the youngin here. I put a terabyte of memory in for his gaming. Because memory is so cheap today. And he can run 3 monitors, which is nice because he does a big old TV set that we've got that his mother used to have in her bedroom before they got a bigger one. And he plays games on that, and then he has a good high definition with a 26-inch, something like that, next to it as monitor 2, so he can see the game on the big one, and over here he can follow chat, and that's where the camera is on. So when he does Zoom work for school, that's where he can keep track of who's doing what, because Zoom will let them, the way the teachers have it set up, they can log in on one screen and then on the other, so as they can watch you do your work to see how you think. Engine Monkey is in the house with us. Howdy.
What's up, Sarge?
Hey, Sarge. Sarge's house is the circus.
Yeah. But these little keyboards are handy.
That is pretty cool.
And, I like them on my tablet. That's the one reason I got this splitter, is so I could put feed power through the C port and then put the dongle on here, because it's not a Bluetooth. I wish it was a Bluetooth keyboard, but it isn't.
How you going, Sarge?
So, Jay, how much are you going to hollow that thing out? Are you going to make it so that that little rough patch is gone? Or a part of it is gone? Or
Look, it'll most probably lose a little bit of this. A lot of it's just flaky anyway.
I was going to say, it looks really punky.
I think that's just bark there. Still bark.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was left out in the rain, so the bark was real flaky. There's another lot there, see? Yeah, there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
So that's fine. Not really that fast. I'll fix it up with the Dremel later. Yeah, see what happens. Whatever happens, happens. I'm just waiting for the epoxy to dry on that lid handle so I can finish that.
He's back.
Yeah, as soon as I make any changes to anything, it all shuts down on me. So I'll just not touch anything now.
So this is what the last 2 days, this is what I've been using.
How do you like it?
I like it. It's very nice. Makes the wood feel nice. It has a nice lemon smell afterwards.
What part of the big green shed was that in, Jay?
This one goes on after. It actually comes in a pack, Sid. They get the liquid B stuff, this one, and a stick.
Yeah, is it in the paint section or is it in the adhesive section?
It was annoyingly, it was just on the end of an aisle.
That'd be bloody right.
Yeah, so it's called Gillies. But you got, see, there's you got those two packs there. You can buy them. You buy them separately. You got their products there, and that was another one they did. It was just it was only a little box like that, Sid.
Yep.
Yeah, like I said, we walked past on the end of the aisle, and I went, "Oh shit, what's this?" So.
Yeah, and I'm going down to Mount Gambier tomorrow, and I'll probably be in Bunnings on Monday. We're staying overnight, so
there's their website and that one.
It must be a local brand.
Yeah.
Because I haven't heard of it.
Yep.
Does it say it's made in Australia? Anywhere?
Well, it's called Gillies Australia, so I would assume it is.
It's like they make quite a variety of waxes.
Yeah, oils and stuff, really.
It's like you can buy it by the gallon.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be a gallon, though. What would it be? A
Oh, that might
liter?
only be like a 250 mil or something.
Uh,
I just sent myself a message on Facebook so I can remember what it's called when I go in there.
yeah, I do it not through Facebook, but I set it up as message, and I can pull it up on my phone. Though I found I have the lady on my phone, and that comes in handy. So I can just in my anywhere in the house or my shop, I can just tell her to put it on my want list on my phone, and it'll be there. I've become lazy, but maybe I've watched too many of George Orwell movies and saying, "Hey, it's real." We
Yeah.
can do it. The kids do it. They use it for cheating in school. I know, I've caught them. And it's, you're not supposed to know you can do that. And I just look at, I'm not as old as you think. I might be decrepit, but I can catch up. Yeah.
Sid, Sarge is calling you the high-tech bushwhacker.
That's a good handle for him.
There you go. With the whiskers and that at the moment, I'll take that. I'll get high tech enough soon, so I'm another step closer to being able to run a live. Just at the moment, all my USB cables are running over the floor.
You can't run them up and overhead. Get the log.
I can. I've only just been setting them up today just to see if it works, Dr. Bob.
Okay. Just
Yeah,
make sure
no.
the longer they are, make sure they're thicker.
Yeah, no, the one I'm running on at the moment is the longest one I've got. It's a 5 metre, so I'll try that one first.
Yeah, because the thicker the wire, the less the resistance.
Yep. Just like a pipe.
Yep. It is. It's an electron pipe.
Yep. That's how I try and explain the electricity to people. I said it moves like plumbing. If you've got a big wire, it's like having a big pipe. It doesn't matter how little you're having coming out at the other end. If you've got a big pipe delivering it there, you'll get more out the little hole.
Yep.
Interestingly enough, though, with plumbing, I don't know whether it's the same with electricity. If you've got a 6-inch line and you run it through a 3-inch valve, stopcock, it makes, as long as that's a very short distance where that valve is, it makes negligible difference to the output flow at the other end.
Well, you'll forget the one thing you got to look at is the pressure. If you got a container that is shallow, let's say 2-meter diameter flat pan, and you're having it come out of it, versus something that is, let's say, 10 centimeters, 15 centimeters, and it's a high tube, you're going to have the whole weight of that water coming down. So it's going to go a little faster, but it's still constricted by the size of it, of your valve. But you'll have more pressure. That's why they put water towers for people, above the house. Or years ago, New York City, they couldn't make in the 1800s, they didn't have pumps big enough. to push the water up 80 or 40 to 80-story building with any pressure. So they would pump it to a tank in the middle of the building somewhere, and then pump it again to a tank on the roof, so they'd have the pressure of the falling water to feed the faucets and flush the toilets.
Yeah, Sarge, it's Saturday here today, so no, I'm not at work.
All right, I'm back.
God, look out. God help us.
Yeah,
Blair,
I'm just
Blair
going
is
through.
putting his hand up.
I'm just going to. I'm just going through the chat to see who's been talking. Sid, you got too many loads, says Eva. Jeez, don't come to my place then, Eva.
I've only got 2.
Yeah, I got 17. All right. Steve's gone to bed. Good night, Steve, if you're still listening. Let's see. And I know that Sarge is having a go at me. You should have seen Stacey's live. I did.
So you know why he said that then?
Yeah.
If Shag's still there, yes, it is a rooster. I've got roosters running around everywhere here.
Right. And Sid, the high-tech bushwhacker. Right, okay, rightio. Caught up. You're talking about water pressure. So, right.
Whose water pressure?
I don't know. They were talking about water pressure up 80-story buildings.
So, Robert, I'm nearly 20% of the way to a 30-40.
Sorry, what was that?
I'm nearly 20% of the way to a 30-40.
Ah, very good. You won't be disappointed in it, I don't think.
Look at your review on it. So,
my personal opinion is that it will shit on the Vic Mark and any other contenders in that thing. Stubby, Laguna. There, I've said it now.
it looks heavy.
Sorry?
It looks heavy. I reckon I'll need an engine crane to get it off the trailer and into the shed.
Oh, definitely. The thing that impressed me about it was the amount of power it had.
I don't think we need more allies to be undead.
Is that still a belt drive or is it a direct drive, that one, Robbo? Belt drive.
No, it's belt drive.
Yeah, because it's got 5 speeds with the variable, isn't it, or something? 5 or 6.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was, but
It's got pretty good speed range.
Yeah, like I got a 3/4 inch bowl gouge into it, and with an inch wing on it, and it just slowed it down a little bit. That was all.
Yeah.
Taking one of my cuts.
So I'm just having a slight smoko because the pole was spinning in the handle, so I've glued it back in. I'm just
now that's where I said to you, grind a flat on it. You grind a flat on the end of the handle. The end of the tool that goes into the handle, so that you can get epoxy in there and stop it from spinning.
It's not going to spin now.
We shall see.
We shall see.
Yeah, drop it once and watch it crack.
A little Chinaman glued it up, so I think the Gorilla Glue is going to do a bit better job than that, to be honest.
Oh, no, they don't put glue in them, actually.
So I'm that much closer to doing a live, Robbo.
Oh, very good.
Good. Can't wait for him, Sid.
We got NBN coming out your way, have you?
No, I've got a little what would you call it? It's a modem that's got a little external aerial on it to pick up the signal, plus a little couple of internal aerials to put it out.
Oh, Wi-Fi
Faster
booster.
inside the shed. Yeah, it takes the SIM card itself, but it's got a higher capacity than what the little things I'm using at the moment have. So hopefully that's the next thing I'm going to plug in, and I'm just working out at the moment, moving my little Wi-Fi unit around the shed, working out where my best signal is. Because funnily enough, if I open the door of the shed and bring the Wi-Fi unit to the door, the signal drops out. If I take it to the back of the shed against the wall, it's the strongest point.
Oh, it depends on where the tower's transmitting from too.
Well, I've got two. I've got one straight out the front door, which should be pointing straight at Kingston if I'm open the doors of the shed. But the bigger tower is at Mount Benson, which is further away, but it's straight out the back of the shed.
Yeah.
Can't you put it in a serious plastic bag and seal it and let it sit outside? Because metal will attenuate the high frequency Wi-Fi signals.
Is
It's
anyone
61.5 an hour the other though, Doctor. If I take it outside, my Wi-Fi signal inside is going to be compromised. But this has got two external aerials on it, so I can have the box inside and have an aerial outside.
Can't you just put the lathe in the
That's
lounge
all you
room?
need.
Just put the lathe in the lounge room. That'll fix everything.
Yeah, I'll have more peace and quiet because the wife will move out. And
Has anyone been looking at what Sarge has been putting in the chat?
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say it's just like power lines is the same as water pressure. You start pushing too much voltage through a given wire and it won't take it. And then his famous last words, I think, were for Sid's response to getting closer to setting up a live.
What's he on about up the top there? Am I wearing a turning?
The discussion that you guys missed was USB cables.
That's how it all started.
A long USB cable, you need to have a bigger conductor in it because of the resistance of the thin wire from cheap Chinese-made USB extension cables.
And he just wanted to know whether you were wearing a smock. No, he had a jumper on because it's cold there today. Oh, the famous last words for the thing about being glued into the handle. Rightio, now I'm with it, Sarge. Right.
Well, Sid, you ought to do your testing at night here. That way you'll get some instant, honest feedback. And we're far enough apart.
The trouble is that at night there is this time of the day when I'm normally at work.
How about on a weekend?
Yeah, no, that's what it'd have to be. It'll have to be like Saturday or Sunday.
That's fine. Saturday or Sunday night.
But,
it's night for me, so it'd be day for you. That's all I got caught up in that with England today.
Yeah, Rob will abuse me and tell me it's no good anyway if it's not.
Actually, it's the best sound I've heard with you. There's no echo or no blipping or anything with it.
Yeah, I'm actually running, got the earpiece going, and I'm running off the microphone on the computer, I think. That's what it tells me I'm running on.
Well, you must be close enough to it that you're not getting any echo behind it.
So, yeah. I think with the microphone on the computer, I'm far enough away from it with the earpiece so it's not getting any feedback from the noise.
Ah, that could be too.
But if I'm doing lives, I'll look at seeing how I go wearing that a good headset unit I got that I wear when I'm inside.
Oh, yeah.
I just got an old used hand-me-down that doesn't light up or flash gaming headset from the kids at Christmas because I knew what they wanted and I got them one of them that changes color and it ties to the keyboard that it already knows what games you're playing because you program the keyboard for the game.
I can make it echo, I think, Sarge. it normally happens with Bob's is auto cut off on the sound deadening or whatever it is on the microphone, and overrides it and it gets a feedback through it.
Yeah.
But it
So
doesn't seem to be doing it.
You were gluing up your grievous wound before, Blair, were you?
Yeah, do you want to see it?
Oh, I don't mind.
Anybody else squeamish?
No. Nothing I see makes me squeamish. God, it's only a flesh wound.
I just can't get a good shot of it. Sorry.
No, you're getting it too close to the light.
But
Did you
that
get to
whole
see the
part of the
background?
knuckles all peeled back.
Yeah, like I said, flesh wound. Put a Band-Aid on it. Put a Band-Aid on it and have a cup of concrete.
Super glue.
Yeah, super glue.
As long as you cleaned it first, you'll be all right. You don't want to super glue an infection in.
Could be fun.
No. I learned that in Nam. But then again, they say wash it in water, and you only water you have in the jungles with clogs, and that's no good. It is bacteria waiting to kill you.
I always reckon let it have a good bleed.
Toilet paper.
Yeah, that's what Sarge reckon. Duct tape and toilet paper. I must admit, I've used paper towels and insulation tape.
Or what do they say? Windex?
I don't know about Windex, but I tend to, if I get any cuts or anything, I tend to lick them.
Yeah, so I just said split on it, which I assume means spit on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Sarge, what happened to Stace? Did she get hurt? Everybody's waiting patiently.
Not that I saw this morning. She was turning a pen.
To teach Robo how.
I actually have a pen from Stace.
Oh, yeah.
So I might have to make a point of my first live might be turning a pen.
Robo might have to be paid pretty good to watch.
He'll either watch or he won't. I won't lose sleep. But I've never heard him say nobody else should turn pens. I've only ever heard him say, I won't turn pens.
That's it. Yeah, she cut her finger with the tool. I must admit, I didn't watch the whole live.
I watched the end of it, so she must have got it fixed up and got going again then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will, Sarge. I won't let anyone else in until I've let Robbo in.
You could be doing a solo performance then.
That's all right. I've got the pen kits ready to go.
I'm going to make myself a cup of tea.
Yeah,
I'll be
I've been
back.
going to do a bit of work. I've got lawns to mow, so I'll catch all you guys later. See you,
All right,
Jay.
see you later, Sid.
See you, Chit.
See you, Bob. See you, Blair. See you, Robbo.
Yep. Have a good
See you,
day.
Sarge. And anyone else who's still in the chat.
Sarge must be drunk. Love you, Robbo. And what is Jay doing? He must be eating lunch or something.
Last I heard, he was talking about having a smoke.
Oh.
So how'd you work today with your finger at work? You wear
Oh,
gloves?
it's fine. I just had band-aids on it all day, and um, I I figured it's been a couple days, and so I'll just take off the bandage and super glue it, and then I'll put a band-aid on it tomorrow again. No worries.
Just watch what it looks like.
It's all gone
Yeah.
quiet.
Oh, Bob and I are talking.
Right.
We think that Sarge might be drunk because he says, "Love you, Robbo."
Yeah, I know. No. Because he enjoys stirring me as much as everybody else does. But then I don't take any notice of scrollers anyway.
Oh, ouch. Yeah, I actually quit to come in here because my headstock is moving, and it started making me very angry. And I didn't want to spend the time to go out and figure out what the heck's wrong with it, but it
Moving
just
Well,
it doesn't tighten like it used to.
no, you've got to basically you've got to take the headstock, sort of strip it, take the locking part of it and everything out. I've had to fix at least 10 of them, and I forget what I do. I think it's got to have a washer or something underneath the nut, so that it tightens up properly because it bottoms out in the thread or something.
Yeah,
They're a poor design.
I'll have to figure it out maybe over the weekend or something like that. But every time I would push into that bowl, my headstock would lift, and it's like, "Ugh."
Yeah, I know.
Oh, the anchor nut. There's the washer.
All right, I'll go and
What
finish
is-
making my cup of tea now.
All right.
What brand lathe?
It's a Harbor Freight.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, got your back, Sarge. All right.
The mechanism in the back of the headstock that's actually opposite the spindle, in the back that tightens it down so you can rotate the head.
yeah.
They have when you turn it, it pulls up on a bolt and a washer. And when you loosen it, you're allowed to move it to detents, fixed detents, to help lock it down. The bolt come loose because
So
underneath.
on the headstock, you've got a handle that technically all you're supposed to do is just rotate it, and that's supposed to loosen everything up. Now on the back side of that handle are just two nuts. That's it. And on either side of that are two metal clamps that are supposed to clamp everything together.
Right.
And yeah, it's. I'm gonna have to.
Don't forget, they come. Did you assemble it?
Yeah, well, that not the headstock. Everything was set up with the headstock, but
On the bed when you got it?
yeah,
When they ship them from China, the headstock is separate than the bed in the box. So yeah.
anyway, I'll figure it out. It's aggravating.
Well, have you got the manual for it? Have you printed it
Oh yeah,
out?
oh yeah.
The blow up should show you the pieces Because I've got the original that was used as a knockoff for most of them today. The original Jet that was designed by Jet at the time, and that's I've had two of those, both of them out on loan now to people that are locked down. But they used to hang out at my place. Though at night, often after 10 at night, the dog goes crazy, and I wonder why, because he wants to go outside, and I go let him out, and someone's in the shop.
Yeah.
They know they can come by and use the Powermatic at night.
Nice.
I know them. I trust them. And
So,
often,
Robo, I don't know if you were here when I told Jay. I don't remember, but I took your advice and I put my lathe up on 4x4s. And so it's raised it up 4.5 inches roughly.
Yep,
And
makes a heck of a difference when you're turning at the right height.
it does. It feels a lot better on my back and shoulders. And
well, they're made for the height for the Chinese
yeah.
people. Because I know the first one I bought that was a Jet. It was brand new, and when Jet first came out with them, and it was short. And I have them on 4x4s. And the next one I got, it had a modified bed where they took it off of the original bed and put it on a welded steel bed. But the person died, and the wife gave me the lathe so as I could see that it gets in the hand of good, people that want to turn, students and that. And I got a bunch of tools that she just put in big boxes and dropped off. And that was about 20 years ago. And it runs forever. The only problem that I've had with those lathes has been dust in the power switch.
It's fairly common in a lot of lathes, actually, that they get dust in there.
Hey, Sarge, you're going to have to wait. I don't know what Jay's doing. I think he's out doing a smoke or something. So hang tight, okay?
No, he's not having a smoke. He doesn't smoke.
He's having a bit of Vegemite, a cup of coffee.
I'd say that's more to the point, yeah. Either he's helping Amber, which is why I had to disappear. Not to help Amber, but to help my wife do something. So.
Oh, you're a good hubby.
She doesn't think so sometimes.
Yeah, mine doesn't either. So.
I'll tell you.
But I scored a heap of brownie points this week.
Yeah, what'd you do?
I assembled up a big cabinet for her a big craft cabinet that she ordered online. So holds about 200 boxes.
Oh, nice.
That was her birthday present to herself, and here he is.
Yes.
I sincerely apologise, Sarge, if I offended your poor little snowflake.
What? If I didn't throw that in there, it wouldn't have been as funny. The bantering.
I see you're coloring your beard. You have the nice brown spot coming down.
Yeah. I probably got food or something in it, or dip spit or something. I don't know. About time to shave it off. Problem is, our cold front's coming in next week. The same junk you all are getting up there.
Oh, we got hit last night with about 3.5 inches and blowing.
Yeah.
We got some snow today, maybe about an inch, but it probably won't even last.
We got hit with a massive rainstorm last night. I reckon we got about 3 inches in about 2 hours.
Wow.
Nice.
Did you need the water?
Australia always needs water.
Yeah, you guys have a lot of fires.
We certainly do.
Your fires make our news here. I don't know what it is, but we're getting more in our national news where they take a segment and talk about what's going on around the world. And yeah, we hear about your fires, and I get it as on the internet.
Well,
Because
perhaps
I
some of the,
subscribed to the ABC News, and I thought it was American Broadcasting, but it wasn't. It was Australian Broadcasting.
I think a lot of your population is starting to wake up that there is more to America than just America. Another part of the world exists.
Yes.
Also, that's what that little island is down there? It's Australia?
Yeah.
The sandbox. Well, it's a penal colony according to Great Britain.
That's the one thing that drives me crazy about our news is really our news is just fluff.
Mm-hmm.
It's just garbage. We never really see what's going on around the world. We have to turn into like BBC or Al Jazeera or some other thing that's out on the internet rather than what's on TV.
Yeah, even our world news.
We get the CBC out of Canada, and they cover pretty good. But the PBS seems to cover the world pretty good. That's when I follow the PBS news. They have, what do they call, bureaus in quite a few places. Australia's one. Right now they opened a new bureau in Hong Kong to cover the Hong Kong problem with China.
You got my circus monkey here tonight.
Yeah?
Yep, our grandson's here. He's yelling at something, dog, I think, or cat. He's got a Pop-Tart in one hand and eating Ida's cereal in the other.
Sounds like a typical boy.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he's a handful. And especially now that his sister's here. Her sister's not here tonight, but here in the world.
Yeah, I've got 4 teenagers here spending the night. 2 live here. Now it's 5. One has 3 guests from school. And they tested, they're safe, so they come over and they come walking in with tons of computer and gaming gear. And, I have 19 new devices appear on the network I had to give permission for, including 3 watches. But it don't matter. I just say yes and put down it's a guest and put them in a separate category and give them unlimited bandwidth. Let them have fun.
Yeah.
My youngest turned 14 today.
Wow, congratulations.
You started early, didn't you?
Well, I was 25 with my first.
Well, I bet you by 1 year I was 24.
Well, I was an old fart then because I was 36 with my only.
Yeah, I wish I could have kids, but because of being a POW and what they did, I can't. And
Right.
I don't. The VA says that's nothing to. You can't claim on that. got hit with a cattle prod a couple of times down there.
Right. I'm sure you got stuff that you don't even want to remember or talk about.
Well,
And I don't blame you.
oddly enough, it's to try to stop the nightmares and stuff. One of the things, at least a good 20 years ago, was when you have good friends, you can talk about stuff
Right.
because they'll understand. Because some of them might have been there or known people who have been there and done that will understand.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
other vets always do. Sarge, it would be something that I know I could talk to you about.
Right.
But that's just, nothing can be done about it.
Yep. Yeah.
And oddly enough, if I was married, I could get funds for it. But since I'm not married, I can't.
Right.
But that's under the guidelines from World War II, because I'm the vet that falls, the old part, I fall under the World War II medical and retirement pension programs and whatever from World War II, not the new ones that you are.
Right.
So
Well, you should have done a contract wedding then. Contract marriage. just like a lot of my buddies did up from overseas.
Yeah, to get a girl in.
Mm-hmm.
A T-lock.
Yep. And then they'd be screwed and tattooed when they got back here. The service member would.
Yeah.
Some of them anyway. Some of them would just walk all over them, and then when they got to the States, they take all their stuff and run.
Yeah. I've known a lot of people that I've got to know through the VA and vets that just sit and talk there having lunch or in the lounge waiting. We've got 3 lounge waiting rooms, big ones, that you can just sit down, and they got TV sets, like 3 or 4 of them in different areas, so you can watch different stuff on TV or just sit back and talk.
Yeah, that sounds like Little Rock for me.
Yeah, they just put that in major clinics. So,
right.
But you find that the young people, your age, they show up, and younger seem to have appointments on different days of the week and at different times. They're in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
And the rationale is that the people that they're dealing with are different age group. And we're a teaching hospital.
Mm-hmm.
That's when the young people, the interns and that are working through the hospital, and they come in. So it's something that they can sit and talk about what's on the music charts, have something in common with the people that are examining them as interns. And it works well.
Right. Oh. Here comes my circus monkey.
People like me, these young kids just cannot understand what it was like to be a POW.
Right. Yeah, because even the POWs of my generation, I've talked with a few, and the very few, and they don't have anything on you guys. I mean, or you guys don't have anything on them, on what they went through. Yours was extremely different
Torture.
and a whole lot worse. Yeah. Yep.
Getting hit with a cattle prod if you weren't working hard enough.
Mm-hmm.
I got scars on my back from that.
Yep.
And for the first 90 days we called it in the hole, but it was a hole in the ground, and that's where we slept. And we might get out of hammocks that were hung in it, and there was a cage door above that they'd put the ladder down so you could come out and eat and work.
Yep. Crazy.
And just so as to
Doing.
make it, I won't say worse, but getting sunburns is you were given sandals. They kept your uniform and everything, pants, because they didn't have any.
Right.
Because they were really shy on stuff because our Air Force and Marines kept blowing up their supply depots.
You won't get the belt. Go put back. Okay, that.
And today, we can sit there and joke because if you've been there, as you know, within your period of time, there are some jokes that fly and they're innuendos,
Yeah.
understood subjects, and it varies so drastically with age.
Oh yeah. Speaking of jokes, and this is slightly off topic of what we were just talking about, but still military related. I was working with this guy. His name was Kim. Last name was Kim, and I think he was South Korean. Had a South Korean heritage. Anyways, we'd always pop mama jokes and wide load jokes and all that stuff all the time in the shop with everybody else, and he couldn't stand it. And one Sunday when I went in for night crew, I had just gotten off the phone with my dad telling me that my mom was in a horse accident. So I was already down in the dumps and hurting. And the one time that he popped the mama joke was at me, and he didn't know, but it was funny later to think this guy here is always on our case for popping mama jokes, and here he is popping one at the wrong time. But like I said, he didn't know nothing about it. It was just one of those you had to be there moments.
Yeah, we used to have more fun. The people that we liked to tease were the Marines.
Right.
Because we had them stationed with us there at Udorn. They had their own camp outside of our camp because we weren't good enough as Air Force. But we were also in the Joint Thai Air Base. We owned half of it. We had one runway. They had the one that was parallel to it. And they were based on the other side.
Flasher, come change your butt.
And but the Marines, we used to have more fun with them, and the anchor clankers. They didn't like that. They were not anchor clankers, but your Department of Navy.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't like that either. But I tell you, it was a Marine that pulled me out of the POW camp.
There was the enlisted club on Kadena Air Force Base. They didn't want us in there at all. We nicknamed it the hook and jab because of the fact that every time that we'd go in there, somebody would end up getting into a fight. So they didn't like us.
Well, that's a Marine.
Oh, yeah. Robo ain't paying no attention.
The weirdest thing in my life, the person that I wanted to meet more than anything is the man that was the Marine that pulled me out of the tent that I was in.
Mm-hmm.
And he just had a picture of me, and he, long hair and all, he grabbed me by the hair and he looked and he says, "What was your mother's maiden name?" And I told him, Ireland. He turned. He took my hand and he put it on his belt, on the back of his uniform. He says, "You hold on to that belt, one hand or two hands, and you follow me wherever I go. If you let go, I can't guarantee I'm going to come back and get you." And that's all he said.
Yep.
And I remember tattoos everywhere, and they were unique tattoos.
Right.
And I remember seeing them from the flashbangs that were going off in the sky that they were setting up, because this was like 3 o'clock in the morning
Right.
in the jungle in Cambodia. And they had a helicopter that was flying overhead, a gunship that was just hitting the barracks of the people on the other side of the fence that
Mhm.
ran the camp, because we were in our own separate triple barbed wire area. And they were just hitting them like mad with flashbangs. And they got 26 of us out.
Hey guys, I'm dropping out, so I will see you guys later.
See you, Blair.
Okay. But I remember the tattoos on his arm because they stuck in my head. I can still sketch them.
Right.
And 20 years ago, I was at a big camping program where I was out camping with some recreationists for medieval SCA.
Mhm.
And I go up to grab something to eat from one of the stands. And this big guy is sitting next to me. I asked if I could share the table with him. And he was sitting there and he shirtless, and his character was like Conan the Barbarian character he was portraying. And I looked and I said, "Well, hey, I remember seeing a tattoo like that." And he was telling me, "Well, that was my unit in Nam," and went on. And the other one, I said, "Yeah, I have dreams of seeing that church that the steeple's gone on. It was falling over." And he looked at me and he said, where did you see that tattoo?" He says, "That represents the time my father's church was blown up
Hmm.
in the south." And where were, and we got talking about it. And be darned, he was the one that pulled me out of the POW camp.
Wow.
We sat there and cried for a good hour and a half together, talking about old things. And he was told I died
Wow.
because he kept trying to find out where I was. He just threw me on the chopper and he went out on another one, but that's the last he saw of me. And he got wounded, and he picked my butt up and picked me up and threw me in the chopper, and he got shot in the shoulder. And he went back after two more.
Wow.
And he was just a young kid, my age at the time, maybe a year or two older. And here I run into him almost 40 years later. If it wasn't for that funny church with the steeple falling over. And I saw that and I had the flashback of seeing that whole arm with the tattoos.
Wow.
And I'd forgotten about that. I'd talked about it in a lot of the shrink sessions, but it's gone by. You don't think about it anymore. And all of a sudden it pops up.
Yeah.
And then he became a judge. He was studying law at the time. And he became a judge in North Carolina, a federal judge.
Hmm. Howdy, David. David from Portal Warrior Works is in.
Well, howdy. I have someone to talk with now. But you know what it is, being a military person, hopefully you've never been through anything like that, but
Not that extreme, but I've been through some of it anyways. Just
wounded?
no, just the mental scars.
No.
my biggest thing was the fact that C-130s, we did a lot of the angel flights. We hauled a lot of the dead bodies out. And even before I got a chance to get to Iraq, we had one of our C-130s go down in Afghanistan, I think it was. And that's haunted me because I knew almost everyone on that crew that was the flight crew. I didn't know the passengers, but I knew everyone that was on there. I'd served with them in other units, and it just little bits and pieces, just enough to make nightmares.
Yeah, because you don't bail out from the C-130, and not if you're cockpit crew.
No. Well, I mean, the air crew could have, but they were already. It was already too late. They were inverted and headed into a mountain.
Oh.
Instruments. Well, not inverted, but their instruments were all out of whack, and their ground sensing was off and all that stuff. And before they knew it, they popped out of a cloud and smacked the side of a mountain down there, or out there.
Took out the INS.
Yeah. Yep.
But you know, they're never gone as long as you remember them.
Right.
In a positive way. I remember that's the sign, that the poster that was with many a blank face but uniformed people that the clinic I kept going to be treated. They're never gone as long as you remember them.
Yeah. But speaking of that crew, it was interesting. Most every year, my wife and my daughter and I, we usually go to Iowa for Thanksgiving to be with my grandmother and see other relatives and stuff like that. A few years ago, we decided in the middle of the summer that we were going to go up there just to show up. Didn't even tell her we were coming, and they had like a homecoming yearly festival there in town that she lives at.
Yeah.
And when we were going through around the square, there was a portable memorial for like Iraqi veterans and stuff.
Yeah.
And they're on like these flags, and they'll have a picture of the person and tell where they served and basically when they were killed or whatnot. All of a sudden, I ran into one of the air crew members that was on there. Before I knew it, I found all but one of the people that passed away on that flight, all posted on there. Yeah. I was like, wow, I guess I was supposed to be there.
I've been to the Wall in D.C. right after it opened, and that because I worked there, and that was a place that I would go because I knew a good 2-3 dozen people there that were on it, and you know, it's a great memorial.
Yeah.
When you look at it and look at how many names, but that was just from Vietnam.
Yeah.
And that didn't count the people who weren't there officially.
Right.
Like all the Air America people.
Yep. Another covert personnel.
Yep. I'll tell you, the movie is pretty close to reality because I flew with those guys. That was my transportation in and out of country.
Yeah.
Went to Ramstein for Oktoberfest as a treat. I couldn't keep up with them drinking, though.
Yeah, I bet.
Well, they were all Marines.
That explains a lot right there. Yeah.
Because that's a lot of the pilots for that flew the C-130s for maintenance, and that were Marines. But the few that flew with Air America, they never wore a uniform, so And if you ask if they belonged or whatever, they just were Air America crew, period. But the movie's pretty close to reality.
Yeah, that's the interesting thing is about movies, especially being a military personnel, is you dig into them a little bit to see how realistic they're portraying it, and then if it is a situation that you've been a part of, then you also look to see how realistic the activity is that they're portraying, or what uniforms they're wearing and stuff like that.
Yeah. And some of since I flew with Air America to get in and out of places to maintain the electronics that I figured out how to fix without shipping it back to DC, but
Right.
fix them in the field. The villages and communities that they flew in and out of, I recognize.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the smell of napalm in the morning, it's not quite as good as bacon and eggs, though.
Right. I bet. One interesting thing that I found out about on the C-130s is that they had a bomb that they could drop out, basically a daisy cutter to clear landing zones and stuff like that. They're in what they call it, Blue 82, I think, was one of them, and it was pretty much just a palletized nasty bomb. They would just push out the back, and once it hit a certain point, or once it hit the ground, it would blow out a bunch of shrapnel and cut down a bunch of trees and stuff for landing zones. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I hadn't heard that's been invented since I was there.
Yeah.
Involved, but yeah. But if you ever get a chance, watch the movie Air America. It's
I've seen it. It's been a little while, but I've seen it. It's a good
it's
a good movie
online.
Yeah.
It's that old. And the Coca-Cola factory. I have been to the Coca-Cola factory.
Right.
The bottling was over there, and you don't ask what those big doors are for.
Right. I bet.
And the windows are broken out and they're boarded up, and it looks like it's abandoned. And where the trucks pull in and out, that's the other side of the Coca-Cola factory.
Yeah.
Where they had the Coke.
Right.
And the pot.
And the ash and everything else.
Yep, that's where they did the breakdown and whatever they did in there. I only was in once to help carry some stuff out.
Mm.
And I was young and had no idea
Yep.
what was going on until, I don't know, I was probably another 10, 15 years older. I was young and naive, just 21 years old, electronic geek.
Yeah. Well, I think I'm gonna shove off here and.
Yeah, Jay's been gone now almost 35, 40 minutes. Maybe he's just got bored listening to us and just let us talk.
Yeah.
Or he's had trouble and whatever. Robo probably knows. They probably called each other.
Probably. Robo's on the mute, so he's maybe talking to somebody else.
No, I'm just listening, that's all.
Well, I don't know if you know it, but Robo was over there too in Nam.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I heard him say something about that.
Yeah, similar to Air America, if not with Air America, but he'd have to kill me if I did say it.
No, not Air America.
Another company. There was 3 of them that the agency ran.
But oh no, just You just awoke some
He
memories.
was
That was
just
all.
there. Yeah, he was just there.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, but there's a big chunk of, even though if you're there a year, I was there 2.5, but you have so much that's happened in that period of time. It's like tenfold of what it is when you're out of the military for a year.
yeah. Yeah.
Because things happen so quickly. You
Yeah.
don't have time to run down. You know, it's like the movie runs continuously and they don't give you a friggin' bathroom break.
Right. Yeah. 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 And there's no place to escape from it either.
No, you get addicted to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You get addicted.
All right. I will
That was
talk with
wise.
y'all later on.
All right. See you later, Sarge.
See ya.
And I
I'll
hope I
say
didn't.
bye if
I
he
hope
ain't here, if he ain't listening.
I hope I didn't offend you too much by calling you a bloody scroller.
No.
No, I know that.
Not at all. And I was hoping I put that in there as quick as I could. I was hoping I said it right. There's
No.
plenty other places that I should be out of, but I keep going back to. For a whole lot worse things being said and done and whatever else. So I don't. Yeah, you ain't gonna offend me. You gotta just like you, Robo and Bob. It takes more to offend us than just a couple words.
That's right. Yeah.
So I'll
Well,
catch
it
All
you
right.
must be past tomorrow down there.
Sorry, what was that, Bob?
You must be, with the time zone and all. You're going on afternoon, and here it's going on midnight. So it's
Yeah.
11:25.
No. Yeah. Let's.
I'll catch you tomorrow night.
Yeah. All right then, Bob. No worries.
I just hope Jay's all right.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll find out shortly, I suppose.
In his own fucking room.
Okay.
All right. See you later.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.
Back up.